So you went to the defendant in order to get dreads put in, right?
Correct.
Dreads. And what day is it that you go to have her do your hair?
On December 5th.
So what happens?
I go in on December 5th to get my hair done, and she's installing the locks in my hair. And as she's installing the locks in my hair, I'm just scratching my head. So I'm asking her, are you putting something, are you using some type of grease or something that's making my hair itch? And she says no. So fast forward till we finish my hair, I hate it.
Did you tell her you hated it?
No.
How much did you pay to get your hair done?
I paid her $1,180.
And how long were you sitting in the chair?
14 hours.
14 hours. Okay. So you didn't say anything to her because it's awkward? Or?
It was 2:00 in the morning. She doesn't have any mirrors in the room where she does your hair. There's no mirrors there. So it was 2:00 in the morning. I was tired. I got in the car. And when I got in the car.
When did you realize that you were unhappy? I mean, there may be are there no mirrors on the walls where you do the hair?
There's a gigantic mirror to the left, a whole closet door mirror.
Are you telling me that you paid her without seeing it?
Oh, well, an hour into her doing your hair, she makes you give her the money.
All right, but are you suggesting that you had your hair done and at no point had a handheld or anything so you could see how you looked?
No. She has you over in a little corner.
What's that a picture of?
This is a picture clearly showing the gigantic mirror sitting. She's sitting in front of her.
Is that a picture of her?
This is her.
How did you end up taking a picture?
I take pictures of all the clients, before and after, to show the before and the after.
Okay, and then where am I seeing a gigantic mirror?
See the little gold? That's where the closet starts. All across there, you're looking into a mirror. That's a mirror. The whole side is a mirror.
Quite possibly, because I'm seeing
the stuff from the other side.
Inverted convex. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. But in any event, enough with the mirror. You go home and what happens?
I hate it. I take a selfie. I send the picture to my brother. I'm like, I hate it. The parts are inconsistent in size. Some of the locks are braided in. Some of them are twisted in. Like, she used several different methods on my hair and it was just hideous. So I started taking it down.
You took it down yourself?
Yes, I started taking it down on my own. And I noticed that the hair is stuck in my head. So I call her and I ask her if she used glue in my head. And she says, yes, they're supposed to be permanent. Now, this is not any type of hair glue. This is some type of crazy glue that she's using.
Okay, let me hear from you on what you're using.
I do have pictures of her finished complete hair showing the consistency and the parting, and everything that she said is the opposite of everything that she said. The locks are created to be permanent. Initially she had an appointment for a lock that was smaller. It was for $1,880, which are considered extra small. She decided that she wanted the ones that were a little bit larger, which is that size. I gave her exactly what she asked for. You can see
Here's what I don't get. When you say you gave her exactly what she asked for, how does the hair come to you?
No, it's not pre-made.
So
it's
you're
loose.
doing it.
I create that. That's why it takes so long.
I got it. So with that same hair, could you have made it smaller?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why there's a big difference in the pricing between the 1,100.
Yeah, because you're going to be there even longer.
Even longer.
Right.
Your Honor, I have a picture of what was requested and what I ended up having.
Right, but you're sitting there and you see the first one done. If it's not the right, did you feel like it wasn't the right size?
Well, she got bigger. As she got tired, as the night went along, she got bigger.
Let me see a picture that would reflect that.
I have her completed head.
Okay, let me see your picture, but let me also see a picture that you may have taken that would reflect what you're saying.
Okay, this one here.
Okay, how does this show that she got bigger?
Well, I mean, there's no consistency in the parts. If you can see, some of them are smaller, they're different sizes, they're different. They're not all the same
Show
size.
me, I'm going to need you to show me what you're saying. I mean, you know, they're not, no one counts the number of hairs individually to make sure that, but I don't see them that different. I guess, are you asking me to compare these to these or what?
Let me see. Here I have more pictures.
Okay. Okay, you've circled something here. What is it you're trying to get me to see?
Oh, it was just glue. It was the
Okay.
glue that was in my hair.
What kind do you use glue?
I only use glue when the hair is short. The reason why I took the before picture brought the before pictures to show you, because her hair was so long, there was no reason for me to use glue. And when I use glue, it's nowhere near the scalp. When you look at the
Did you use glue on her head? Yes or no?
not on her head, no.
Did you use, I'm sorry, did you use glue in this hairdo?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and where did you use glue?
Down the shaft of the lock as I'm creating it. If it's loose, when I pull on it, I'll tap a little glue and wrap over it there. It's never on the scalp, never touched her scalp. If there was a client whose hair was maybe this short, I would have to put the glue a little closer to the
Okay,
scalp.
now
That
on the
wasn't her
pictures that
case.
she's showing me, there was one picture that I know I saw that showed some redness because you were complaining that it itched.
She never complained while she was in the chair about it itching.
I
Your
got it.
Honor, I was sitting there scratching my hair the whole time she was doing my head, and I asked her specifically if she was using some type of glue because my hair just kept itching.
Not
I mean,
true, Your
excuse me,
Honor.
not glue, grease.
Okay,
because
but
my hair
I'm
was itching.
seeing like redness in her, I'm seeing redness. So what causes the irritated scalp?
It doesn't happen. As you can see in the picture she just showed you, that was during the process of her. Go back, see the ones that she's disconnected. That was someone trying to remove it who irritated her scalp. You see the ones that are undone and then next to the ones that are done?
Yeah.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with me. That's
She
her
says
trying
that
to
she was
remove it.
telling you while you were doing
That
it
is
that it was
absolutely not the
Okay,
truth.
now it's not uncommon though that people will complain that their heads
Tight. Yeah, tight.
It wasn't
Yes.
tight.
Hold on one second.
Absolutely. Sometimes people will say it's a little tight because if you see on the scalp, I have to lock it in. So yes, people sometimes do complain about it being too tight, but I don't touch the scalp with glue. Never was she sitting there scratching her head saying or ask. That's just not true. And on those pictures that she's showing, that was clearly when she attempted to have it removed, that person irritated the scalp, which you can
Who
understand why
ended
it
up
would be.
removing it? You?
I started removing it, so
And
these
then?
pictures was when I started. Then I had a
And-
professional because all of my hair was coming out because it was just glued in.
Well,
So-
yeah, that's why I probably wouldn't start taking out my own hair.
I told her it could
Well,
not.
she's
it was
not
And,
supposed
and,
to
and
be
isn't the idea, how long is this supposed to last?
It's permanent. This is how they found me on my Instagram. It clearly states I create permanent lock extensions. My hair is locked. If you want to take it out, it has to be cut, which is exactly what I told her. So she went after that and tried to remove it anyway.
Your Honor, I have a
Who's the person
professional
with you?
loctician.
Who is the
that-
person with you?
He's a loctician. So he redid my hair. He's the person that redid it.
Okay. Is he your friend or no? That's
No, I met him through a friend who referred him.
during this.
Yes,
Okay,
during the
come
process.
on up, please. All right.
So there was a statement that was made that.
What's a loctician?
So a loctician is a person that specializes in natural hair and dreadlocks.
Okay. And what makes one a loctician? Is there some certification or?
There are certifications for it, but actually Miss Reese is one of the reasons why in the state of California, it's actually not a requirement to be licensed. She actually challenged the Supreme Court, so she did some
did?
great things, yeah.
My business, I lobbied to get the law passed so that we could operate without a cosmetology license because we do not perform cosmetology.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So go ahead.
So great. But she did mention that that dreadlocks have to be cut out. This is not true. You can actually use conditioners. It's a very long, meticulous process.
Like you shouldn't try to do it on your own.
For the most part, no.
Right.
But also just the whole idea of the fact that she had to use glue, totally unacceptable. You don't have to use glue. This is an example of a lock extension. I just made it very long for the sake of you being able to actually see it and understand it. This is the type of hair that's purchased. And this is, I utilize these tools. I lock the person's hair first, and then I attach this. No glue, no
Say that
chemicals,
again. You
nothing.
lock the person's hair.
So basically what I
meaning
do.
you lock that lump
So
of hair?
their natural hair, depending on the length of their natural hair, I utilize different tools and I manually dreadlock their natural hair. Once their hair is locked, then I take the extension hair and then I attach the extension hair and then it becomes this. So their natural hair will then grow into the extension, no glue, no chemicals, no nothing needed whatsoever. This is the proper way to do it.
Okay. What say you to all that?
with all due respect to him, there is no.
Do you two know each other? Or
no, not at all.
Do all locticians in
No, but that's
Los Angeles
That's
know?
the point. There's so many different ways to create. You're creating, you're molding, you're shaping. So he could possibly have his way of doing things. I have my way of doing things. I've been doing it for 24 years. There is no perfect way. But what we try to do is ensure that the person doesn't call you and say they found the dreadlock on the pillow. So yes, I slip knotted, as you see from the root, and it is done with the same tool that he has, because we're trying to ensure that it is locked. Yes, my method may be different than his,
It's kind
but
of
that
hard
doesn't
to
make it
decide
wrong.
what the right method is as opposed to opinion
Right.
if there's no standard in the industry
There
and
isn't.
there's no, regulation or whatever. That's, you know what I mean?
You can
is
use
there-
aesthetics and look at the final product and the end result. What actually looks the most like a dreadlock? What's the least detectable to know that there's an extension placed there? I don't know if you want to actually look at her hair closely, but you can't see where her natural hair ends and the extension begins.
hair? Her hair? My
Yes.
Which is,
Yeah, I would. Come on.
which is
come on up.
okay for him to have a different technique, but
Yeah.
I have hundreds of pictures showing the final product. So if a person decides they don't want my method, they have the option.
I mean, it looks really good.
It does.
Yeah. Go ahead and go back.
Thank you.
Now, if you look at the
But
pictures,
but see, that the fact that it looks really good doesn't mean she is entitled to $9,000 from the defendant. So let's talk about your lawsuit. You want the money you paid her for her 14 hours, 12 hours to go back to you. You want the amount that you paid not only for the hair that she used, but also the hair that you used there. That way you don't pay for hair at all, right? That's what you're saying. You shouldn't have to pay for hair at all, which would be a freebie hair. 900, you're suing for that. You're suing for 2,200. Is that what you charge to do it? Okay, so that's.
process was a 3-day.
I understand that. And then you're charging $700. You're asking for $700 for removal of glue. To explain that to me.
Okay, so now as I'm taking down the hair, there's a lot of glue. There's not a dab of glue. There is a bunch of glue all down the locks that Miss Sabrina did in my hair. So as I'm taking them out, it's too much hair. I have,
No, but how do you come up with $700?
because I had to call someone else who ended up helping me take the locks out
Okay,
of
but
my
did you
hair, and
pay
they
that
charged
person
me.
$700?
Yes.
Do you have any proof of that?
Yes.
Okay, so you did a Zelle transfer, a Cash App transfer on 12/9 to someone at a particular braids and weave salon for $700. Wow, man.
It's an expensive thing.
It really is so. I try to understand this whole thing. I watch that Chris Rock special. I try, and I know it's like a really. Wow. Okay, and then now the hall rental and pain and suffering is $4,200 of your lawsuit against this lady. What are
Yes.
you talking about?
So I had rented a hall for my birthday party, which was canceled because my hair was not done.
Why didn't you just put on a wig and have a birthday party?
Well, here's the thing. I'm allergic to glue. So had she informed me that she was using glue, I could have told her that. I cannot wear wigs with glue because
Why didn't you
my
wear a
skin
wig
will break
without
out.
glue and have a birthday party?
No.
Okay, well, that's on you. If you can't have a birthday party and celebrate life's milestones over hair, that's on you. In court, what is recompensable are the damages that naturally flow from whatever wrong you're able to establish, okay? But if you cancel a trip to Tahiti or you cancel your birthday party, that is your choice. Your choices don't always cost somebody else something. And $2,000 for pain and suffering. I think the same analysis goes for that. Folks, here's where the problem lies. You're acting like this is a science, and that by bringing him in to critique her job, that somehow I can conclude his way is the only way, and her way cannot be
Can I
right.
say something, Your Honor?
And this is art and not science. And, although you've done everything that you can by bringing him in, you've done a lot more than most litigants do. But unless you know, you guys are going to show me some authoritative scientific book on how this is done and that somehow she did something wrong, I don't see how it is that you can win this lawsuit. Based on what has been presented to me, I am not going to order the defendant to recompense you $9,180. It's, like I say, it's an art and not a science. I don't know why you would start ripping this stuff out of your own head. I don't know why you would cancel your birthday party. You know, but, you know, you are free and American and can do whatever you want. It's just that it doesn't necessarily mean someone else has to pay you $9,000 when you do it. Verdict for the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, this is very interesting because it sounds like this is a very prominent woman who does this dreadlocking. I don't know if she calls herself a loctician. Do they all call themselves locticians? Like I know just about as much about it. I know less about it than the judge does. The extent of my knowledge is that it just takes so much effort and skill to do that. But what I find interesting is if it's not certified, if there's no certifying body, then I guess there isn't an established practice thing. In which case, as a judge, how is she to say that one loctician, to use the term that was brought up by that other man, how to determine one loctician's method is better or preferable to another loctician's method? I guess there's no basis upon which to make that judgment. The glue is interesting, but again, that's her method. That's what she uses, I guess. Whether or not you're supposed to use that, there's no certified, that's opinion. It's everybody's different opinion in this case. There's not like a certified body. Now, so I guess in terms of what can be upheld in court, that seems fair. It does seem a bit sketchy to not use. I didn't even know there was, by the way, this is how ignorant I am about this. I didn't even know that there was, there's hair glue and normal glue. I didn't realize there was glue you could use on hair at all. But if there is, and you're someone who's done this for 24 years, I think she said, and you're using like super glue essentially, that seems like a mistake. I feel like if there is a product specifically of glue to be used with hair, then that's what you should use. And I agree about the birthday party. If something unfortunate happens to you in life, and you cancel your birthday party because of it, that's your choice to cancel your birthday party. You could have held the birthday party in the state in which you were in. If you're vain enough or prideful enough or embarrassed enough to cancel it, that's on you, because that's not the same choice everybody would make. But I find it very interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments below.